Hey everyone, got some good news and some bad news to share with you. Oh, bad news, I want to talk about Wonder Man today. Hey, but I'm having trouble getting it to actually work on my D Plus profile. It's reverting to saying like available the 27th, even though that's today. Apologies in advance. So that's another one for the backlog if I can't get it working soon. Good news, I have a backup plan, as I often do, tying into another bit of pop culture or, or that I have some affinity for. And Return to Silent Hill finally came out, and the results have been decidedly a, a mid. I mean, even though the director expressed interest in doing more adaptations based on the box office numbers I've seen so far, honestly don't think it's going to happen. And there'll be another time to visit further. And the nice thing I can say about it right now, however, is that at least it's getting more people into the game. Game. Feel like I can vouch for that one. That one, if you're interested, Jeremy. So let's hear my thoughts on the PS Plus release on the remake of Silent Hill 2, which the original version is even one of many games celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Here, and hey, have an inkling that I may look at this again and when it gets closer to Halloween. So let's begin. Though obviously not as spendy as the comparable remakes of the Resident Evil games we've had. There's persistent talk about what'll come next be it 5, Code Veronica, or if I would personally hope bring things full circle by doing like a remake of the first game in that region. The store it definitely does do a decent job of bringing the town up to modern systems. I mean, homes it saw release first on both PC and PS5, which is the version I'm playing. I believe there are contingencies for other platforms, such as the Xbox Series for one. And even though it does take some getting used to with how they change up some of the encounters, there's been like some of those weird mannequins look like they came out of like the video for Herbie Hancock's Rocket. The story is is faithful to the original release on PS2, which is good given how I was not a huge fan of the developers' other games, and he still follows James Sunderland and a widower who, to his confusion, is lured back to the town of Silent Hill. He'll by a letter from his wife, who, to his knowledge, died of terminal illness, and much as expected, not only has his his car been rendered inoperable, by the time he reaches the rest area outside the town, he doesn't know really what to believe, and the reflections are ones of much own psyche as much as they are of the supernatural. Admittedly, remaking any game by design is very much a crapshoot, especially if the original game is considered to be a genre-defining classic in itself, which would cause many purists on principle to reject the very idea, or at least express heavy concern for it being. I mean, thankfully, I'm actually really glad that what I've experienced so far has not only managed to live up to the vast legacy of the original game, but also the expectations that they have placed on their shoulders, especially given how the franchise as a whole has a long way to go before it's really regained some esteem. Though I am willing to try Silent Hill F as well as I'm a bit more open to the idea of these same developers remaking other legacy titles as well, especially if they have similar production action in this one, but also maintaining faithfulness to the original story. Even little details I find enjoyable, such as the fact that the roadmap you get is actually an homage to the original map from the PS2 version of the game. And even though the encounters don't play out exactly the same as they did in the original release, they still manage to show how James very much not an action hero at all. Before even when you just arm like a boar with a nail in it before you even find any of the guns, man. Where you where you're fighting these creatures. And of course, I kind of like how you can also adjust the intensity of not only combat encounters but also the complexity of the puzzles. Where I'm currently on the part where you have to repair the jukebox and the broken record, or to get to the next part of the town. And I also think that even if you have never experienced the game before, or this actually he did a solid job of updating it, it even made my day. Hey, when I found out that they were going to be bringing back my favorite ending, which was like a direct contrast to how most of the story was very much wearing the influence of the films of David Lynch and Jacob's Ladder on his sleeve, where the Shiba Inu dog was behind everything. And I won't be mentioning how different conditions are here, which give an idea of how much Hospice applies to me. Hey, and I definitely have no plan to see a return to something held theatrically at all, because it is certainly a has generated so much discourse. I'd rather not add to that fire as it's still burning, especially given everything else that's going on right now. Anyway, that's about all I have to say for now. I'm going to keep on working on my Horizons reviews and outlines, and I will show again soon. So, take care, everyone.